Welcome to Reflect on This. Hello, I am Johnny Henshaw. This is the podcast version of devotionals I send to my family and friends. In these devotionals, I share the things I'm learning about the ways and nature of God through applying my study of the Scriptures to the world around me. And don't forget to keep listening at the conclusion of today's episode to hear about my recommended resources, such as podcasts that I find helpful and encouraging, books that inspired some of these episodes, and ministries that I want you to know about. So let's get started. Please join me today as we reflect on this. Herbert Swope famously said this: "I cannot give you the formula for success, but I can give you the formula for failure. Try to please everybody." Well, I have another confession to make. I have a tendency to be a people pleaser. What are some characteristics of people pleasers? They rarely say no, have unhealthy boundaries, pretend to agree with everyone, go to great lengths to avoid conflict, fear negative emotions in others, feel responsible for how others feel, act like those around them, hesitate to admit when their feelings are hurt, and apologize too often, even when they haven't done anything wrong. Here's a humorous quote from Dr. Chris Thurman that illustrates this quite well. "I'm sorry I can't help you move this weekend, but I'm having open heart surgery. Please forgive me." But what is the truth that sets us free from being a people pleaser? The fear of man drives us to be a people pleaser and traps us in an unhealthy way of living. Proverbs 29:25 says, "The fear of man is a snare, but the one who trusts in the Lord is protected." We have a choice to make. Either seek the favor of God or people. We can't do both. Galatians 1:10 says, "For am I now trying to win the favor of people or God? Or am I striving to please people? If I were still trying to please people, I would not be a slave of Christ." Christ was the perfect example of not being a people pleaser. Matthew 22:16 says, "They sent their disciples to him along with the Herodians. 'Teacher,' they said, 'we know that you are a man of integrity and that you teach the way of God in accordance with the truth. You aren't swayed by others because you pay no attention to who they are.'" Christ calls us to live a life of balance between these two truths. Do not seek approval of others, Galatians 1:10, and love your neighbor as yourself, Mark 12:31, and if it is possible, as far as it depends on you, live at peace with everyone, Romans 12:18. In summary, what does God say about trying to please people? 1 Thessalonians 2:4 says this: "Instead, just as we have been approved by God to be entrusted with the gospel, so we speak, not to please men, but rather God, who examines our hearts." Dr. Thurman, in the Lies We Believe workbook, has this helpful summary statement regarding people-pleasing. If you truly care about pleasing God and not people, you are at times going to get some hurtful and even hateful reactions from others. When that happens, see it as an opportunity to participate in the sufferings of Christ, 1 Peter 4:13. Jesus was the rejected cornerstone, see Matthew 21:42, and more than familiar with the emotional pain of being treated in a hateful manner. Those are difficult footsteps to follow as a Christian, but it's important to do so in order to avoid being a fair-weather fan of Christ. Like Christ, you are to please God the Father and aspire to have His approval. Today, I encourage you to reflect on this. Today's featured resource is the Bible study software package entitled eSword. This free Bible study software is available for download to a wide range of computers and mobile devices, including Windows and Mac computers, and Apple and Android tablets and phones. The download includes several free public domain resources, including Bibles, dictionaries, commentaries, devotionals, and maps. You can then download from within the eSword program many more free public domain resources. You can optionally purchase whatever copyrighted resources you want to create a powerful study library. One of the greatest benefits of Bible study with this software is the multi-windowed display, so that you can simultaneously have windows open to a Bible translation, a dictionary, and a commentary. They are automatically linked, so that if you select a verse, then the corresponding entry in the selected dictionary and commentary are displayed. You can also easily compare Bible translations by viewing them in parallel windows. For the Bible translations that have embedded Strong's numbers, referencing the corresponding Hebrew or Greek word, you can hover over a Strong's number and a tooltip pops up with the Strong's definition for that word. To learn more and to get a free download of this amazing study tool, on your computer go to esword.net, that's e-sword.net. On your mobile device, go to your App Store and search for eSword, that's e-sword.